Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode server. Expert Mode. And I'm hanging out here at the Nether hub. Well, this is the portal to my base, and there's been some changes. Now, in the last time I made those linking books with Mistcraft, which I love. I think they're fantastic, but I said, if I've got a rail connection, I'm going to use that rather than a linking book. And then I said, you know, I ought to make some rail connection. So this is my little base area, and I decided to go with the stone slabs because I got lots of stone, and I like that white. I really like that. Plus the dark nether brick. Went with some lava for lights in here, and I did add the chandelier from Extra Utilities. Let's see, it's 1 diamond, 2 gold, and 4 torches. So cheap, and that block spawns within 16 because these are top slabs, and so they actually would allow mobs to spawn in here, which is not fun. Anyway, the idea, then I borrowed Torgal's design and tweaked it a little bit. Like, I'm going with mana glass because I've got it and it provides light, which I like a lot. And we've got these little booster tracks here to move us along. And the way I did that is, here we go. I went ahead and doubled the track and hit it with a lever. So that's what's powering it. And so lower slabs here, nothing should spawn on that. Tracks with a top slab, and mobs do spawn on top of this. I can't remember which version of Minecraft disabled spawning on top of tracks, because that would be super nice. Anyway, for returning, if you set up a cactus with, you know, some slab on top of it, you don't bonk into it, which is good, so you don't take any damage. But the cart being lower will hit it and break. And there's a hopper here pointing into an ender chest. And we decided as a server that black, gray, light gray would be the chest for doing minecarts. Oh yeah, let's better put on some armor so that I'm protected because it's the Nether. Anyway, and so that feeds into here, and then I've got a item ducts into this cart dispenser, and I also have, let's see, can I, you know, I'll show it later. I've got a duct or servo there that's pulling out only only these mine carts out of here, because sometimes other things drop in because there's a hopper here, and you don't want them to go in there. Anyway, that goes to a cart dispenser, and then I've got 2 powered rails, and this is the entity ejector. No, what is it? The embarking track. And it's not all that expensive, just little advanced rails, and then wooden rails, and then these ender pearls. And what that does is, when you are close, if you give a cart dispenser a signal like that, it spits out a cart, and then it grabs whatever's the closest entity. Happens to be me. I've grabbed fire bats that were like on the other side of the wall, not here. Anyway, you just push forward and it'll send you off. And because it's a server, yeah, the little pauses as it's processing stuff. If I were running this on a single player, I would have a smooth ride the entire way through. Yeah, assuming my machine could handle that just fine. Anyway, so dismounted over here. This going that way and this way is the main hub line or spur. This is the western spur. We take a look at the map. So there's the hub. And I've gone north and then over to here to the Blaze Farm far too many times, and then I won't count. But this is going off to me and others a little bit further down. So I could ride this back up this way. I could go visit my friend Mekla, and this was the first spur that I did after mine. And it's about every 20 blocks, you know, is this section, and then 2 powered rails, 20 blocks, 2 powered rails. Works pretty nicely. I think this is a little bit shorter, just, oh, we're going into the void? Oh, okay. I love how the video just doesn't catch up to what's there, but doink, there we go. And that there, it should keep going. Yeah, little glitches there. Anyway, Lots of glitches right now. Anyway, the his is off that direction, but hasn't been set up yet. Same sort of setup here. Now, what I did do here, let's break this and drop down here. I put a little platform underneath so I could access these things to make it easier for when that needs to be set up and that set up, and if somebody's down this direction, that can be set up. Anyway, I was saying the ender chest, I just ran some item ducts up here, and there's the servo. It's the cheapest of the servos. I went ahead and set whitelist for minecart, so it only will grab minecarts. I think it can only get spit in there, but that's what you know. It doesn't hurt to have that. And then getting back out of there, I want to grab my rod of the skies, and I think there's the hole right there. Whee! Blow myself right back up out of the hole. All right, so let's head back towards my base. Well, going along the western spur back to my section. And it's the fire bats are annoying. They are very annoying because they keep coming up and putting me on fire. But worse, they will explode and launch you into the air, which is why I'm really glad I've got the glider on, plus that rod, which allows me to get back up higher. So the next section goes this way, and it's not all that far, but this is where Dr. Artemis's spot is. And he decided, since his portal is literally right below us, he said, let's do it right, this direction, so you can visit his base that way. I should block this off just because ghasts are annoying, and I just recently finished putting the slabs that away, all the way to the hub. Next thing to do is count off 20s and start marking sections, and we've got some resources, lots of mana glass, lots of nether brick that we've been doing. In fact, go back here to this. I went ahead and pounded a shaft through here, just a little bit more, so that I believe Harris is up in this direction, and he may want it down here instead. But anyway, I pounded a shaft through. That gave me lots of nether rack so that I could then smelt it down and make nether brick. Although I may go back down this way. Yep, there's a nether fortress, and I went ahead and chewed up a whole bunch of one of these wings because they have those bases that extend deep and has nothing in it. So I just started collecting lots and lots of nether brick there. I may do that again because that would get me lots and lots, and I'm going to need lots and lots. The other option is you can walk this way, turn on your glider, and you can just zip along through here fairly fast. Anyway, so that's what I do. Each one has a platform underneath that works out very nicely, and I will actually go back through my portal as opposed to just homing back home, because I wanted to show something else I did in between episodes. Oh, there's somebody north to me as well. I'll hammer a path that way anyway later. Let's come out here. This, off to the side of my nether portal island, is a Twilight Forest island. And there we go. Had a little bit of fun setting this up. These were easy to get, but this one, the rainbow tree, I asked around, I looked for it, and somebody pointed out where it was, and it was like 5,000 blocks away. So I used my rod to launch myself up into the sky. Whee! And then I just slowly drifted over to that other location. And it took me quite a while because at this speed, there was no problem on the server. But if you press the forward key, you actually go like double the speed. And I was actually looking at the forge TPS and going, yeah, that's affecting the server. So I did it slowly. Anyway, so that's what I did. And just barely got that planted, and it just barely sprouted. So it made me go, yay, it finally worked. Oh, as far as showing it off, I'm not. I've done it multiple times, and I don't know why nobody seems to really care about watching Twilight Forest progression. But you just take a 2x2, fill it with water, and then surround it by 12 growing things. I had flowers, so I did flowers, but the grass would work, mushrooms would also work, and then you throw in a diamond and you'll get some lightning. So don't put your trees in there first because it will catch it on fire. Assuming that you have that. The other thing that I wanted to show off is I completed the digging over here, both of these chunks, and I put birch leaves on top because sadly, let's take a quick look down in there. Yeah, they're both chewed down. I threw down some platforms and then pillared up so I was 24 blocks away so I could see what sort of spawn rate I was getting with the slimes. It's really, really low. And that's because with 1.7, the mob cap is server wide versus player based. And so I hardly got any slimes in there. And you really need a really good fast production of slimes. So this isn't going to work for slimes. Oh, well, I learned, and that's just not going to happen. It's not fall in. And so that I'm going to repurpose this because up there, that mob farm, while it works, it's kind of annoying to have that on my map. I don't necessarily want to have that mob farm there. So I'm thinking of relocating this down into that area there, because technically mobs should spawn more the further down they are, and if they don't have solids above them. Well, these birch leaves, they're not solids. I will put grass back here because I'm not a big fan of having the leaves here, but because I'm going to use cursed earth, I don't care. It's going to be just fine. However, I do want to, nope, not just home. I need to home. There we go. And Dasha was saying, is the server lagging? As you jump dimensions, it will lag as things have to get loaded, the various chunks and whatnot. What I did want to do was create something for handling experience. And I was thinking of this. This is the experience obelisk from Ender.io. And it takes experience and pretends it's liquid and makes an almost infinite tank in there. It's not really infinite, but it's close enough. I don't think I could ever get close to filling this up. It needs this solarium ingots, and that is just soul sand and gold in your alloy smelter. And pro tip, always put the gold in first and not the soul sand, because this will melt it into glass, which is not what you're wanting. I think this melts into soul glass. Let's look at the U. No, just glass. Yeah, go ahead and put the gold in first and then the soul sand, and then you get this solarium out. And then the experience rod is just solarium and a little bit of energetic alloy, and you can use this to right click tanks to pull in and out XP into those tanks. I don't really think I'm going to use that. I'd rather just use the entire tank itself. The other thing that so yeah, cart dispenser, that's how I was getting those. The booster rails, that uses the advanced, and for that you just need gold and redstone and these standard rails, and that'll give you some more of these using one of these rolling machines. And the recipe for these is, yeah, but I haven't, I stole all these from the mining dimension, so I have a bunch of these, which is fine. And then likewise these tracks I made with this. Oh, that's a suspended track. That's not what I've been using. This one, I've been advanced rails from this standard rail. Why would I combine all these tracks into one of these? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, you can take your bronze or your iron or your steel, and you can get different amounts. Bronze, you get 6 of these outputs, and iron you get 8, and steel you get 16. And my response to that is, why? It would make more sense for me that the bronze would give you more, because you have to do the work of making the bronze. And steel, for all the work it is to get into the steel to just double it, nah. I'm not going. I'm just using iron. I've got lots of iron, so that's fine for me. Anyway, so that's how I was making that. I didn't mention the lava sigil. I went ahead, let's go to here. I went ahead and made this the sigil of holding. And if I crouch click, I have some sigils in it, and that's why I made the sigil of holding. So this is the divination sigil. It lets me see how much blood is in my network. And then the sigil of the green grove allows me to speed up growth of my plants if I turn it on. Sigil of the blood lamp, let's see, that's what's active right now. If I right click, it will spit out a light, and it's hard to see, but it's right there. There it is. It's even harder to see than my Botania lights. It's got a few particles. If it were a particle that was as hard to see as this, that would be great. Anyway, I'm gonna break these. I don't need those there. That one actually will do some damage to mobs, but it looks like it puts fires out where it lands when it strikes a mob, and I'm not that interested in doing that. But I did go through here, and you see these, those are the blood magic lights. These ones that are brighter yellow, those are the Botania lights. And because this is such a flat area, you can really see this, but I went through and used the blood magic lights through here, and then I got a lot of Botania lights. I like how the blood magic ones blend in a little bit better. Some of the journal maps don't show those lights as much, and I like it when they don't show it at all. Anyway, let's see. Oh, and then this one, the lava sigil, allows me to just, it's like 1,000 life points to make a source block of lava. And the nice thing of that is I can right click these and fill them up. Oh, that's getting a little bit low, but there's not enough room yet. So I can use that if I just crouch shift or roll with the mouse, that switch to this. I have to watch out. I don't want to keep that in my active, because if you just right click something, it will go ahead and drop a source block of lava there. Ask me now how I know. The good news is it doesn't flow unless you update the block around it, which is handy, because that gave me enough time to grab a bucket and pick it up again. So I've done that enough times. I'm trying not to do that again. Anyway, those have been handy to have. I'm not showing off the blood magic altar area because I still haven't completed that as an island, because I've been putting it off, and that's just the way I'm going to do it. I do want to make this, and for that I need a machine chassis. Oh, I prepared everything but the basic capacitors, and I also need one more of these. Let's go ahead and hammer you that down, and shouldn't take too long. Basic capacitors, those need the, nope, not you, this one here, that needs a lapis, and it needs some of these reds. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And then, do I have any? Oh, I do have enough. Cool. Yep, I wasn't sure. I hadn't actually gotten them set up in time, but now I've got, there's my 2 capacitors. You're done. All right, let's drop that in there, and this will make for me one of the basic machine frames, which is handy to have. And I do love that I've got plenty of power on board, so it just sets it up right. I did extend this down another block of 3 by 3, another 9, which is handy. I like shifting that over. Oh, and I did 5. So we'll let the last one get done. So there's that, and there's my 2 basic capacitors. I thought I'd done them. Obviously I hadn't. Let's take the machine chassis there, take the experience rod and drop it there, and there's my experience obelisk. And I can just put that any place. We'll put them right here for right now. And then you can store all your XP, which I have none. You can also withdraw, and at various levels. The benefit of this is that scaling amount of XP. Getting your first level of XP is less XP than going from level, say, 10 to 11. It takes more XP to do that. And going from level 100 to 101 takes far more XP to make that, because it scales up. The bad news though is if you say you had 100 levels and you enchanted something that needed 30, you drop down to 70, which much more overall XP than going from 30 to 0. But the benefit here is if I needed 30 levels, I would store all my levels and then I would withdraw 10. So I'd have, or 30 times 3, and that would give me my 30 levels that I need. And then I enchant, grab another 30 levels, enchant, and I could do things much, much better. The other nice thing about this is it will save the XP that's in it. Yeah, stores experience. Yep. I'm going to use this elsewhere. What I do want to do, because I want to update my mob farm, and that's nice up there, but I want to move it down into this little area here down at the bedrock level, because why not? I'll cover this over with dirt and set me up one of those linking books so I can jump down there really fast and then I can home back up. I want to have a better setup where I can get all of the items, I can handle all of the XP, and still be able to charge my I'm drawing a blank. Thaumcraft. Okay, I was going Thaumonomicon. Anyway, get those charged because that's what I would get from the mobs: the drops, the XP, and those little tiny balls of V that I want to absorb into my wands. That's what I want for the mob farm, and something that's better than an eyesore up in the sky, because that's kind of ugly. And it is update time, and the big floating eyesore up there in the sky, it's gone. I do want to make a few things, and then I'll show you what I have did. So if I go down, zip down here, let's make some swords. And I've already got the golden spikes. The golden spikes, let's go back to iron spikes, is just iron. That's not a problem to make. This was a little bit more fun because that required 4 times 3 times 3, so 24 books, if I mathed it, because it was 12 times 12 times 12, so 36 books, like I said, exactly. And what I did is I went up to my enchanting setup, hit the area with torches, so I was only doing 1 level books. I did grab 2 of them because they were Reaper, and I said, I'm keeping these guys. Anyway, so I made a bunch of those, Now I'm down to making the diamond guys, because before I turn on everything, I need to make sure that this will actually work as far as killing things. Before I make them spawn, I like to make sure that I have a way to turn off the mob farm, a way to kill all the mobs, and a way to collect everything before I turn anything on. You could ask me why I've learned to do this, and I'll tell you. There was one time on one of the FTOG servers, I was in the Nether trying to set up a farm with cursed earth, so I would get blazes and wither skeletons, both which would be very useful. And I made a real dumb mistake. I went ahead and, before I had the kill part in place, and I'd put just grass down, and I had the cursed earth piece that would, when you clicked it, it would actually transmute the dirt into the cursed earth. And I mistakenly hit that on the ground, and it converted everything, and it activated my farm before I had closed it off. Now, I did have fans and stuff to blow the mobs out to the front where there was a hole. And so they just poured on out, and I called the people on the server to help. It was pretty gruesome. Okay, I did set up a book here, which takes me down to the new mob farm, because I'm not going to be doing this trip anymore. Let me do the trip so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, I close this area off, and I can still drop down. I set up this area here, let's turn off the glider, as my new mob farm. And yeah, I do get occasional slimes in here, but I don't care. Anyway, so I've got a row of fans back there to blow the mobs in. I went ahead and laid out everything with dirt and figured out that's where I needed the lamps to be to get rid of the spawning of everything but slimes, and then these conveyor belts to move all of them in. Because I had this tech, I said, why not? I left the rest of the dirt because underneath here, I've got more fans to keep blowing them in. And then I'm using this red alloy wire as a way of moving things around. So here's how I can turn the lights off, which, I don't really want to do yet. I do want to put down... No, he's in the way. All right, you. Die. Oh, I'm missing something here. Darn it. Do you notice what I'm missing? Well, you should. Let me tell you what I'm missing. Put you there and you there and there. Okay, so now I have a working killing zone here. This is the vacuum hopper. Recipe for that, not very expensive whatsoever. That will pull up items and toss it into my ender chest, which will go upstairs. In fact, I will toss the slime balls in there. Bye, slime balls. This is where I should have... I should have my XP obelisk here, which I don't. So I believe if I go up, whoop, too far up, you can see where I turned everything off. This is where my XP obelisk is. One more. There we go. And this takes me right here where I want to be. I'm going to break you. And I'm going to put the... I'll just put it right against you. And yep, it's taking some of the XP that was in there. Let me dump off what I've got. And I've got 27 levels in here. I had 36. To enchant those 36 level 1 books, a couple level 2s that popped up, that took 9 levels to do. Because these higher level XPs take... These levels are higher. Yeah, I won't talk about it. It's a Minecraft thing. Anyway, now I should be able to do this. Let's turn off you, and let's turn on you, and that blows me in place. But this should bring them all in here. They get pulled forward. I shouldn't be picking up the XP, but I'm okay with that. My magnet is not picking up the stuff, which is good. I don't want my magnet to pick up stuff. I am occasionally getting the XP. Perfectly fine with that. More stuff dropping in. I'm waiting for stuff to drop into here. Oh, that's too fast. I've got a really fast thing pulling them off. So that's why. Okay. And how are you doing? Yeah, you are getting XP. Let's drop a little bit more in there. This is going to work. And it looks like it's fast enough. The XP amount is not backing up. I think I'm pretty good. I am going to turn off... Actually, let's run outside real quick and take a look. Because that's why I built this little observation. Oh, spiders, you jerks. And spiders are always jerks. Anyway, I might put right up there at the top, if they fiddle around, I might put some punchy sticks just to stop the stupid spiders. Or if I sit right here, they will come down. Because spiders track you. Spiders are just annoying in any mob farm. They always tend to gum up the works. But this works. Okay, let's turn off the light. What was that sound? That was a sound of something I don't recognize. Anyway, I think we got one zombie to come in. There he goes. And that's it. Let's get rid of my excess XP. And checking up, everything looks good. That is empty. We are good. All right, I will... You know, I'll leave this on because it's going to blow the slimes in and get rid of them. So that... I have seen occasionally some slimes spawning in here. It just, the spawn rate was just so low. And I don't know if, well, with the lights on like this, it should only be the naturally spawning slimes. I am tempted to put a Narslimus to Narslimus to put it in there and see if it will get some of those slimes. I don't know. Anyway, this is as good as I'm gonna do this for a long time. Let's go back up home, because I can get up here. I don't need to go any further. I do want to show off this. That means there's backed up items. And that's my signal light for that. So let's show off what I mean. So back here, I have my incoming ender chest, which is fine. It has a high-speed resonant servo, so it really shoves the items fastly into a diamond chest to just hold stuff. And I have a little switch here, which stops it from going. So I put a little strip there so I could see that. And it is sucking up items out of here fairly fast. This is what it should normally be doing. There goes a lot of stone I just threw in there. Some of these things, oh, that's got to have been a Thaumcraft mob that died. Aha! Okay, I'm going to need to do something with this. And I need to grab that because I have nothing for that. And why is that stone still there? Okay, it's not. Let me pull this out of the way. This tells me that there are objects that need to be removed. And, you know, I think because there's going to be who knows how many of them, I'll grab that. So I can grab these guys here, toss them into there. I did some rearranging of things. Here's all my Thaumcraft essences that I've been melting down. And there might be more to finish up here. I don't know. These are what I've melted down so far, and I slapped them all with the emerald upgrades just so that I don't really get full. I had a lot of Ignis, and that was filling up a lot of arbor because I've been taking the silverwood because that's a great way of getting precontatio, whatever, the magic. Over here, this top group is all mob drops. Everything that I'm going to get from mobs go up here. I do want a lot of ender pearls, so I said let's go ahead and add an update on this. I don't want to lose glowstone. There's just too much good stuff with glowstone, so I want to do that. However, all of these mob drops have voids on them. So as those things come in, if I am full on, say, zombie skeleton or zombie or skeleton heads, it will just void them as they come in. Arrows and bones, and you know, I really don't have much need for rotten flesh. So any that I get, those are already full, and they can get voided, and I don't care. But there are going to be a few things like the ladders I just tossed in there for fun. Let's grab a few of the extra things that are in here. The bean, oh, and the bow. You know, I think what I will do, that should turn off the light. So this is just a capacitor coming out, and I ran some more of this red alloy wire to the light. So that's how I get it. I'll patch this up later. I think what I'll use is this setup to smelt these down into their various components, because that gives me precontatio and armor and working stuff and cloth. I don't know the names of them in Latin. I don't speak Latin, but that's a good place for me to smelt them down. In the meantime, I think I'm just going to kind of like AFK down here at the new mob farm and get me some XP and some resources. Mostly interested in the XP. That's really going to get me some good stuff. Plus, I can convert these into Thaumcraft crystals, which is not a bad thing. Mostly XP. I think that's what I'm missing. And you know, a few nice little goodies. The next thing I need to do is figure out what to do with these spikes here, because I understand they can be enchanted, but I don't know exactly if you just stick them in there or if they need to be combined with a book. I do have a sharpness 5 book, but I only have one sharpness 5 book, and I've got 3 of these guys. So I've got a plan for that, but that's going to be with the next episode. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer here, messing around with making a better mob farm and making sure there's no spillage. No spillage of XP, no spillage of items. Everything's going to be covered unless I let it run way too long, which is why I'm only going to run it while I'm here. And when I'm gone, this chunk is not loaded. And so it will not spawn any mobs in here because it's not loaded. And so that should be fine. I'm going to test it though, and make sure, because you always test, because these stupid mob farms can cause all sorts of grief. Anyway, it's been Grok the Duck Farmer playing with the mob farm here on the FTOG Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode server and having a blast. And thanks for watching. Bye.